My partner Josh and I have been together for a little over a year now. Things have started wonderfully. I didn't anticipate any relationship in my life at the time we met, but valued the way we connected over the topics we could discuss. Then I noticed how caring he was. He would help out everybody with small things, for example, holding the door, taking the trash out, etc. I saw it as a genuine wish to ease others' days. He behaved the same towards me, even better, which at times felt like he was reading my mind. Now, at that time, I had some personal issues and also went really low with my health like never before. He ended up being very upfront with wanting me to tell him the personal issues, saying that he could see something was going on my side, even though barely anyone noticed. I trusted him, reluctantly at first, but then quickly explained what's happening and he jumped right in to help me with that. He even helped with my health and I got better really fast, though I was in need of a recovery period. Soon after that, we ended up being in a relationship and living together. He said himself first that I will probably be a mess for quite the time, so he didn't expect profound intimacy, nor me being completely trustful towards him, nor calm most of the times. That ended up being true. I denied it at first, thinking none of it is going to be a problem, but it somehow ended up being that way. To make it shorter, I'll just point out things that started bothering me more and more, but I can't pinpoint if that is normal or not. I like to point out that I can get frustrated at times, but usually it takes a lot to shake up my calmness. I apologize whenever I'm wrong and try to learn from mistakes. He acts the same, but here are some things I can't shake my head off of. 1. We had a major fight on a vacation, and though I don't remember at all how it started, I remember him messaging both of our mothers about the fact that happened and how I decided to split up with him. I asked him not to involve our family when he said he will, for obvious reasons. P.S. Our families know each other, they are close, so it wasn't out of the blue to contact them. We resolved our issue, and he was very apologetic about contacting family and blamed it on being hot-headed and me also being very intense at that moment. What stuck with me from that incident is that he phrased something along the lines that I should not be irrational with my behavior/words next time if I don't want it to go south, like contacting family, as he also gets hot-heated. To me, it is still strange, as we talked before, that about how wrong it usually is to notify third parties about our issues. Because they won't forget, at least. For example, my mom really grew fond over Josh, but still remembers that incident and mentions it sometimes. 2. Intimacy has been a hell for both of us. He has a huge libido. I had it before as well, but after I went through personal issues before him, it affected my libido after we met and started dating. Add on top of it my declined health. I have close to zero wish for the intimacy. We did have amazing times when we began dating, but I slowly pulled out of it more and more, and now I don't want it at all. The thing that drives me away is that he understood completely in the beginning that I need space with that, but he never stopped initiating multiple times in a day. All harmless cuddling ends up with a request for more. Not just a request, but he actively continues to touch me even when I say no. Lots of times I need to get defensively angry for him to stop, so he stops, making a long face, saying how hard it is for him without the intimacy. And he doesn't masturbate, views it as an emotional cheating. That makes me always feel guilty, but also sad how my boundaries are pushed until I get, angry. Then he proceeds with questions about oral sex, asking if I can't do penetrational sex, can I relieve him orally, and why I don't. The thing is, even his touch started feeling like I can't stand it at all, because it always ends up with advances even though he knows I can't. But he continues to talk to me dirty, asking if I will be a submissive woman, and points out that he doesn't want submissive except for the bedroom. But recently, he started telling me shady things like submissive woman doesn't necessarily mean bad, that I should put the ball down at home as well, and let him take the upper hand more with some decisions. And then he proceeds saying how submissive is the one in control. As for example, in bed, when it says no, everything stops. Yet, I have to beg and get angry to stop his cuddling advances. What triggered me today is how we were outside on a coffee, and he spent majority of the time watching BDSM and slutty lingerie for me online to order and asking me which I'd like, and how he can't wait for the future to have his little submissive slave wearing that at home, and all I wanted was a normal conversation. I can't take that sexual advances anymore. I need just pure compassion. And he always points out how it is hard for him to stay always calm as he has pent up for months now. And I never felt so physically resentful of a touch before as I am now. Used to think it's because of the disturbances I had before, but now I think it's maybe because of him. 3. Can't help but notice how he sometimes tells white lies to other people as to cheer them up. Those are small compliments, but I know for a fact he doesn't mean them usually. I once asked him about that, and he responded with how sometimes people need a little bit of a push to be positive about the day/life. To me, it feels like I can't trust him as he tells those so convincingly. I can't help but think how it affects his integrity. For my alone productive time used to be tied closely with being outside on a cup of coffee learning, reading, playing on my own. Once we started living together, I asked him would he have issues if I sometimes went alone to the coffee shop. He responded in a way that it would be okay, but he would be sad without me and overall won't be as happy as he is when we are together. Initially, I thought it is just because we just started living together, but today, after a long time, I went out on my own for a coffee on a work break. We work close to each other, so we often go on lunches together and also very often end up going home together. When he called me to check what's up during that coffee, I said where I was and he blew up, saying that he could go home earlier if I let him know, and I should have let him know. Keep in mind, he usually doesn't go home that early, but somehow could today. I asked him why he didn't tell me he could go home that early, as I wouldn't want him to wait that long for me. And he said he didn't want to interrupt me, as he thought I was busy. I confronted him, telling that this seems not to be the issue, and he is diverting his true anger on me going out alone for a coffee. Just yesterday, we spoke about it again, and he said that I'm not a college student, so that a coffee shop would be a place for me to learn or have alone time. But if I wanted, I could go. He even asked me, do I feel sorry for him wasting an hour on waiting for me? I said I didn't know he was free, and he could just let me know. To which he responded I should have let him know first where I was, and to promise him I'll do it from now onwards. 5. He always gives me compliments on my looks and outfits, but recently started saying something along the lines that I don't need makeup because I am beautiful to him. Also, that he first saw me in a hoodie and it suits me better than casual business style or dresses, which I like more. All of it to me seems like huge red flags covered really deep, and that is why I need your help. I would give more examples, but I see I wrote a lot already, so thanks for reading. Wanted to point out for final words, mostly our relationship is filled with amazing moments. He is always doing everything he can to make me happy, but those things I can't align with his character. TLDR, partner 30M, and I, 28F, have a wonderful relationship except that I can't forget how wrong our arguments sound when I rewind back. That gets me thinking, was it a love bombing that is transferring to the controlling issues?